What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? Obviously, the media institution who will be distributing my film opening would be a big film production company. For this, me and some of my group decided on choosing two production companies which will be interested in distributing our film. These two were Paramount Pictures and Lionsgate. Paramount Pictures. We decided that Paramount Pictures would be a good company to go with, as some of their films have a huge budget and they also bring in a lot of money from distributing these films. In the PowerPoint, which I will put on the screen, is a chart which demonstrates some of the successes that have been made by Paramount Pictures within the genre of horror. As you can see, they have a range of budgets. More likely our film is going to require a large budget due to the need of special effects and actors. Clearly Paramount Pictures has a history of bringing horror films into the big screen in a spectacular way. My group will be very interested with having Paramount distributing our film simply due to their experience. They clearly have always had a talent in making successful horror films. In this case, the numbers speak for themselves. Look for instance at how much The Devil Inside made in the box office back in 2012 with a budget of only $1 million. They made 53 million. This is a clear example of a successful horror film which I hope our film will be able to replicate if it ever went to the big screen. Our film would definitely need a huge amount of special effects added, which Paramount have made clear they are experts in the 2008 film Cloverfield, which became an instant cult classic. In this film we see a creature destroy the whole first world city to pieces whilst thousands of people watch. We would need help with these special effects, especially in creating thousands of zombie characters, which would obviously have to be done during the editing stage, as the budget for thousands of extras would just be phenomenally huge. We would also need some CGI for the city, which puts Paramount Pictures as the perfect company to distribute our film. The other production company which we would use to distribute our film is Lionsgate. Lionsgate are another production company which my group felt would be very beneficial to use to distribute our film. They too have a big budget for films and a rich past in creating and distributing horror films. Again, I'll put the chart of some of the films that they've created on the screen. As I've previously stated, we would need a production company which can invest a huge sum of money into our film. Lionsgate could do just that. They have clearly got a background in creating successful horror films, as evident from the films in the chart above. Saw 3 in 2006 made 8 times its budget upon release, a huge take-in for the third instalment of a franchise which people felt at the time was being stretched. For this reason, we think Lionsgate will be a financially viable target for distributing our film. Another reason we feel like Lionsgate will be a good option is that they are doing well in adapting to the modern expectations of a horror film. As seen in 2006, See No Evil made profit, but not as much as would have been expected of a Lionsgate film. The company obviously saw this and has since been very successful at staying relevant. Sinister in 2012 became a hugely popular film. It's even sparked a sequel. This is evidence from the $48 million that it made in the box office upon its release. This is just one example of a film which Lionsgate created through thorough use of audience research. This is another tick in the box for Lionsgate. Finally, we need a company which has good evidence of using special effects, namely CGI. Lionsgate has clearly used this in the past with big blockbuster films such as the Hunger Games franchise, which may not be a horror film, but they do use a tremendous amount of CGI to create their dystopian future. This is exactly the type of post-production facilities which we would need in order to create a successful film. For this reason, I feel like Lionsgate would be the best film company to create and distribute our film, even over Paramount Pictures.